and welcome to part 2 of this keychain tutorial. I'm going to show you how to use fibers to create a keychain for your pendant. So we will be starting with a keychain ring, and we will need 2 pieces of string. Now, you can choose the color that you want to use. You can choose just one color, like I have here, or here. Or as you will see in this video, I'm going to be using 2 different colors to help show you how to make the knots. The first part of this video will be about teaching you the different knots you will need to make your keychain. The first knot we're going to start with is a Larks head knot to attach our strings to our keychain ring. You will need 2 strings folded in half. I would make each of your strings as long as your entire wingspan. That means if you stretch out your arms as long as you can from side to side, each of your strings should be at least as long as that entire length. Now, take your 2 strings and you are going to feed the middle loop through the ring. Take the ends of the string and put them through that loop. Don't worry, I'll do this again because we have to do it twice. So again, to make your Larks head knot, take the loop or the middle point of a string, put it through the keychain loop, take the ends of the string and feed them through your string's loop. And pull that tight. Now we have 2 Larks head knots, and our strings are attached to our keychain ring. You will need to take a piece of masking tape and securely tape your keychain ring down to your tabletop. I like to put my tape so that it's actually going on top of the ring so that it can tape inside the ring and on either side of it. You want this to be taped down snug so that you can actually pull on your strings to give some tension. The first knot I will teach you how to make for your keychain is the square knot. So to get started, we have 4 individual strings here. We are going to be using the outside strings as our knotting strings, and the inside strings are going to just remain in the center throughout the knot. Because I have 2 different colors of strings here that I'm teaching with, it's going to be easier for you to see what I'm doing. Begin by taking your left hand knotting string and cross it over top of your center strings. I like to hold my center strings with my other hand. I'm gonna hold that string down right here with my thumb. It's crossing over the center. I will now take my right hand knotting string. I'm gonna pull it over and I'm gonna put it under and through the loop. And then as I pull these 2 strings, I will see that a knot has formed around the center 2 strings. So again, the outside strings are doing the knotting. The center strings are just sitting there, hanging out, being knotted around. Okay, so what happened there was when I made my knot, the colors changed sides. I need to now make my next knot with the right hand string first. So I'm using the same color first again. Notice I started with yellow first the other time. It's yellow again. So my yellow is crossing over the center 2 strings. Now My blue or my left side is going to come under and through the loop. And I'm going to pull. And as I pull again, I'm going to see that my knot is forming around the center. My colors have switched again, and now I have my yellow again on the left. I'm going to again start with yellow now. Now I'm on the left side. Notice how I'm changing sides as I go. So left side makes the loop, right side comes over and through the loop. And I pull and tighten. Now my yellow string is on the right side. Right side goes over, left side goes under and through the loop. So in this knot, one string is always going over, the other string is always going under, and that is how we're tying around the center strings. I'm going to just do a few more of these so that you can see a little bit more in action. I hope you can see why it can be easy to try this first with 2 different colors of string so that you can get used to the process. As you're working, you do need to be thinking about which side you're on, especially when you're using the same color of string throughout, because to make a square knot, you have to alternate the sides that go over and under, and that's what keeps this knot flat. Gonna zoom in here and let you get a good look at it now, right? Because yellow always went over on the back side. Blue, we see always was going under. So that's how you do your square knot. Now I'm going to show you how to create the half knot twist. Before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and just string a bead on here so that you can just see the difference. I'm going to put this bead just on the center 2 strings here, and then I'm going to start with my blue string first next. Now in this case, for the half knot twist, this is going to be creating a spiral looking knot, and as we do this spiral knot, we're going to always start with the same side. So I'm going to start with my left side string, left side crosses over, right side goes under and through the loop. Again, left side over, right side under and through the loop. Again, left side over, right side under, through the loop. Now notice, because I'm always starting with the same side, it is twisting. It is creating a spiral. Left side again. Eventually this will twist so much it's going to go all the way around. When that happens, kind of let it twist, but make sure you still then start with the side that you would have been on. So that can get a little bit tricky. You got to kind of think about it as you let it twist, because you always want to be starting with the same side for the entire length of this knotted area. Okay, let's take a closer look at this now. Now that I've done a series of the half knot twist, you can see how it's making that spiral pattern. And this time it's exactly the same colors on both sides in that pattern. Finally, I want to show you how to create a nice ending to your keychain. So what you can do is take one of your strings that's a little bit longer. I'll go ahead and do this with yellow. And I'm going to fold it into a loop like this. And I want the length of this loop to be however long I'd like this twisted area to be at the end of my keychain. Okay, so again, I fold that bring it up, and now I'm gonna start wrapping around, starting at the top where my knots ended. I'm gonna start wrapping that around from top to bottom. And when I get to the bottom here, where I have this loop that I had made, I'm going to put the end through that loop and pull that tight. That's gonna create a knot. And then this gives me a nice place to just cut the end of my strings off. And this is just a nice kind of clean way to end your keychain. Putting a dab of glue on this final knot will be helpful as well. And I'm going to trim all my strings the same length. Practicing the Larks head knot, the square knot, and the half knot twist is a really great way to start getting ready to create your keychain with your polymer clay charm. Now I'm going to create my keychain using my polymer clay charm, and I have my first string attached with my Lark's head knot, and I'm now going to attach my next one. So I put my loop through the loop of the keychain ring, and I take my excess strings here and I'm gonna pull them through the loop of my string all the way through like that and pull. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to start with the half knot twist. So I'm separating my strings, so I have my inner strings and my knotting strings. And because I'm doing the half knot twist first, I'm taking the left side and I'm going to pull that out. That one's crossing on top, and my right side is going to go over and under and through the loop. And since I'm doing the half knot twist, I'm going to continue to start with my left side first again. Okay, so I am just gonna do one more. Again, I'm still using my left side first. My left side's the one going over. My right one is always going under because I am making the half knot twist, which is probably the easier of the two because you don't have to think so much. Okay, now I would like to put on a bead, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab the one I wish to use, which is this one here, and it's gonna go through my center two strings like so. Pull that up there. Okay, and now I'm gonna do a square knot. So this time I'm having the left side over, right side under, and then I will switch sides because I'm doing a square knot. So I'm straightening out. So now my right side's gonna go over and my left side under and through that loop, okay? See that? All right, and as I'm pulling each of these, I'm pulling it snug, but I'm not pulling it super duper hard. Okay, now I'd like to put on my pendants. So how I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna put my strings through the top hole here and pull that through like so. Now what I want to do is I want to continue to tie my knots so that it'll be underneath my pendant. This is going to really hold it secure. So I'm just going to let my pendant sit back like that. And I'm going to do a series of square knots again because I want this to be flat. So my first square knot's going to be pretty important because I want to make sure that I'm locking this in to the correct place, so not too tight, not too loose. So I need to kind of feel that out. Okay, that's good. So since it's a square knot, now my next one is the right side. And I promise you, the more you do these knots, the easier it will get for you. At first, it might seem a little tricky, but guarantee you, you can do it if you just practice it a little bit. Okay, so now I'm just gonna let this hang out back here and do a series of square knots. So as you can see here, I have my series of square knots made, and they have been made the length of the pendant, or approximately. And now I'm gonna take my center 2 strings and I'm gonna string them up through the hole in the pendant, like so, or in the charm, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so it's up through the hole of the charm, and now I'm ready to do a knot. I'm going to do a square knot again just to kind of keep it straight for now. So I have my left side over, right side under and through. This will just lock everything in place nicely. And if I want to kind of cover up the end of this charm here, I could. Yeah, I kind of want to do that. I think that'll be kind of cool. Kind of hold it in. Okay, so then to finish my square knot, right side first. Okay, now I'm ready to end this. So I'm going to take one of my strings, whatever one I want to do my wraparound with, and I'm gonna make a short section. So I'm gonna fold it up right here. I don't want this to be too long. And then I am going to begin to wrap this around. In this case, I'm going around from left to right. Okay, I'm almost to the end. I can see my loop here. And I just need to now fit this down through it. I'm going to grab a pencil and use it just to help me open up that space a bit more. Okay, so I just put the end through the loop. And pull. All right, and there we have it. Now we can trim this. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to create your own keychain using your own polymer clay charm, using different kinds of knots, the Larks head knot, the half knot twist, and the square knot. Thanks for watching and have fun making your own.